record? Got it. Now we're recording. Okay, guys, let's start with my favorite part of the meeting, which is our mission moment. I do have a couple shout outs today. But first, before we do our bucket fills, I do want to take a moment, a brief moment in thought, because many of you guys have reached out to our KW family, of course, that are in Florida with Hurricane Ian. And many of you have reached out and asked what you can do to help. First of all, make sure you touch all of our family and people that we know out there in Florida. Like we know the Warrens, so far they've been safe and held up together. I know Penny McCann's daughter is safe and now is back. So obviously our friends and family, the agents you guys know out there, especially in the Fort Myers area, which got hit very hard, make sure you do a personal connection. Secondly, of course, our wonderful KW Cares has already been deployed and is going to be deployed again to help those that are impacted and are in need. Many of you have asked what you can do to help, and donating to KW Cares is so important because they put all of that money, especially in times of crisis right now, into buying people food, helping them with shelter. Imagine having and being an agent and having your whole family in your market share area that you serve be impacted at this level, right? The gratitude that takes. So if you guys do, you can scan this, you can make donations here. I know many of you guys are very generous with your transactions. They were actually talking about it on our growth call that they had on Monday with the leadership team. And the most donations, about 80% of the donations that are made through KW Cares are from a per transaction basis, right? So even if you can donate a little bit of extra money now, write them in on your transactions. It's very simple inside the commissions portion of commands, inside the opportunities of command. If your TCs don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to do that, please reach out to Cindy because she can help make sure that that's set up to have a reoccurring donation every transaction. Second part, of course, is the Multiply Your Business event. So that's happening this Thursday. All of the funds and donations that they're earning during this event are going to KW Cares. So if you want something that's going to be kind of like a give and take for you guys, you want to generously donate, but also have access to an amazing business growth opportunity, join us on Thursday for this. Many of you go to Broker Preview. I get it. If you make a donation, you're also going to be emailed the recording afterwards so you can watch a playback. They've got people like Beverly Steiner, Mo Anderson, of course, Jason and Mark. They have a wonderful lineup of people that are going to be here to help set you up for business planning and growth. Any other comments, Benny, about that KW Cares or the event? Cindy?
You don't even have to put the donation on your opportunity. You can't just write a check. I'll be sending checks to the KW Cares this Friday. So if you want to issue a check or do something on your credit card, I'll be more than happy to run your credit card.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, bucket fills. Shifting the energy a little bit. I know we all love Jason Lama. Well, some of us do, but anyways, who has a bucket that they'd like to fill for someone today? Benny?
You can start. Okay. It's at the end. Where's Kelly?
She's back there.
So shout out to Kelly. And I also spoke about you in this this morning session, the producers mindset that we have every day. But it was very, kind of enlightening and refreshing to get a client. I think she was a seller, right, in Seal Beach.
Actually, she's moving to Leisure World in Seal Beach. She sold her home in Long Beach.
In Long Beach, yeah. And she took the time to write a few copies of the letter, send one to me, one to Halley to the office, and to say how great Kelly was and how professional and how much she appreciated the support and care. And we often you guys get like some kind of testimonials, right, on social media, or if you have a website, Zillow or business page, etc. But for someone to write a letter, sign it, send it out, stamp it, I mean, it means something. So congrats. I just want everybody to know that it's still happening. And good job. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. I love getting good letters in the mail about you, agents.
Always.
Always, but I just want to take a little note, Kelly, and read this part that Kelly wears many hats well. For example, professional trusted agent, resource provider, negotiator extraordinaire, grief counselor, and client advocate, just to name a few. True to character, she was quick to share credit with coworkers who assisted with some of the things such as staging. So it's more important now than ever that we look beyond our just completing a transaction and really make sure that we're a support system for our clients as well. The uneasiness that we feel, they're feeling. They're reading the same news that we are. They're seeing the shift in the change in the interest rates, right? And especially when someone's going through such a grieving time, I think it's even more important that you show and model the behaviors like Kelly does, because that's a lifelong client for her. And I guarantee you with this letter, if anyone talks about real estate in this client's vicinity, they're probably going to refer Kelly Lopes, right? Yeah. Awesome, Kelly. I'm so excited for you. Anyone else have any shout outs? Yeah, Teresa.
Well, my business opportunity of the market listing is still alive. It was delayed going to escrow because my buyers, in-law, father-in-law, and partner, they went to Egypt to get married.
Mhm.
So we ready their bag finally, and it has to wait for them to see it. So they're back there. They'll be going in today to look at it. And then even if they decide they don't want it, I have one other person that's ready to go on it. So
Great. Good
it's a
job.
very good listing. Yeah. So I'm really happy about that. Then I'm looking for gas
Wait.
station.
Hold
Is
that-
this
hold that
property
thought.
stuff?
We're
Hold
talking-
that
That's
thought.
later on. Keep on the shout outs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's move on. So I just want to give a shout out. Yeah.
Actually, I would like to give a shout out to Gabby and to Haley and to her sister. I can't remember her name right now, but anyway, those agents here in the office actually helped me a lot getting that listing ready because I was having some health issues at the time. And so I reached out on our KW shares and said, can anybody help with some staging, get this house ready for photos? And Gabby wrote back right away. She and Haley and Emma.
Yeah.
Anyway, they came and they were absolutely fantastic.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. Congrats to them. But anyways, congrats to our leader of the pack for the Long Beach broker reviews. She had 2 new buyers. Congrats.
6 new hires.
Oh, wow. That's great.
And when they wanted me to speak to say like where I got the buyers from, like I couldn't even. I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't even know. But I actually was going to do a very quick bucket fill.
Of course.
And then my picture showed up. I just wanted to say thank you to leadership. I was going through one of our magazines that came in the mail, and a little envelope popped out. And it was a very sweet note from you guys for the passing of our grandmother a couple weeks ago. I teared up a little bit. I appreciate it so much. So much.
Oh, we're here for you, Kim. I'm proud of your growth. That's awesome. Congrats.
We need to sell.
Yeah, that's great. Congrats. Leslie, I have another little bucket fill. You guys, look at this beauty right here.
Look at that.
Happy anniversary to Deb and Tom. This picture was adorable.
Haven't changed.
I
It's
did. My favorite was Sophia was already Project Runwaying your dress as we were looking at that photo. She's like, "Oh, this is cute." I was like, "I could wear this."
So I have to tell you, I designed the dress. I tried so many dresses on. I could not find one that I was comfortable with. My friend says, I have a seamstress and she can make anything without a pattern. And I'm like, are you kidding? So I saw this skirt on Christy Brinkley when she married Billy Joel. And then figured out the top part, right? $500 later, I had a wedding dress.
What anniversary is this for you guys?
This is 35.
Oh, happy 35th. Yay. I love that. That picture is just too cute. I had to put it in
And
there.
he still holds my arm like that when we.
I was kidding. He has some devil. Does anyone else have any other bucket fills? Good one. Okay. Moving on. I just want to give a little shout out and wish a blessed Yom Kippur for those who are observing. For all of our friends and family, that is happening tonight, right, Manny?
Yep.
Tonight, yes. Yom Kippur dinner. That's yes. Okay.
And fast.
And fast, we're learning. And fast. Of course. Shout out to all of our October birthdays. A lot of October birthday babies.
Yes.
9 months before. I'm trying to make it. But yeah, we have a lot of October birthdays. If you guys see anyone here in the market center, make sure you wish them a happy birthday. Also, want to do a shout out to our newcomer, Chris Gordon. Chris, why don't you stand up? Yes, and wave. Yes, welcome, Chris. Chris, just take a second, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Chris Gordon, realtor.
Specializes in open house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get that guy's number. He's ready for it. Awesome. Thank you, Chris. We're so excited to have you. Okay, we have some new peppers in the house. Brad and Shannon, why don't you come on up here, Brad? Congratulations to our peppers. No surprise here. Okay, Brad, come on up here.
First time, Captain?
Yeah, it's your first time tapping. I know. I was gonna say that. This is all yours too. Yeah, a little work. There you go. I love that. Here, let's get a quick picture. Love. So Brad, tell us a little, give us one thing that contributes to you guys tapping every year. What's one tip or thing that you can share with the group? Just one.
Show up every day, show up to work and make a habit of doing the daily things that you need to do to be successful. I mean, it's not rocket science, it's hard
Right.
work, but just showing up and making your calls. That's really one thing.
Very few people show up like, yeah, very few people show up like you guys do here
I'm a
every
lot more-
morning.
I'm a lot more effective when I come into the office, I'm working. If I'm working at home, you can get distracted. So
Mhm.
my little advice.
What are you guys projecting to close this year? Like bowling units, ballpark?
Units are down from last year. I think we'll probably close about 55. For about 1.2 GCI, something like that. That's amazing.
Wow.
We're about 900. Yeah.
Wow.
Congrats, Brad.
Congrats. That's awesome. Always in 1 month too. It's always a fun one for us to get to celebrate. A little shout out to, they're not here in person, but congrats, Capper, Robert Reynolds. GPP. And congratulations to Charles also. GPP. Great production. They've had a great productive year so far. Okay, moving on. So let me move this just in case you guys have registered. This next week is the Reimagine Real Estate Expo CAR Conference Extravaganza Networking. So it's like, you guys, this is so exciting and so impactful, and it costs you nothing. It is one of the best resources you can go to. And since it's the first time back in person, we want to make sure you guys join us. So I want to break out a little bit here and break this down. I did make some slides here for the event highlights, just in case you guys are on the fence about going. Let me hide the video panel so that way you can see. Just in case you guys are on the fence about going, these are some of the things that you're going to see. So there is 3 days of the conference. The first day is called a pre-conference, okay? So, and you do have to pay for that. Day 1 and day 2 are officially the free days, right? So this is gonna be day 1, which is Wednesday is happening, not on Tuesday, Wednesday. They have a lot of exciting stuff. There's the welcome back morning cheers that's happening at 9, a little bit before 9 a.m. I know we all like to start our day with a little mimosas and a little networking, right, before we meet up. The big thing that's happening that morning at 9:30, from 9:30 to about noon, is going to be Tom Ferry speaking to everyone. And again, this is free. Most of you guys know you do have to pay to go see Tom Ferry at most of these events. So that's a great, wonderful resource. A couple of the other ones I want to point out, because I've heard you guys in conversation about this, decoding cryptocurrency and blockchain. They have 3 classes over the 2 days that's in regards to escrow and cryptocurrency, blockchain and cryptocurrency. So make sure you guys are tuning into that stuff, because it is something that's happening in the future right now, because everyone's, you know, a lot of people plunge into that digital coin. Preparing for a shifting market, we can never be too prepared. Also, at the end of Wednesday, there's a nice, it's called the All Voices Soiree, which is like a happy hour meet and greet. It's a huge party, okay? Day 2, just in case you need this calendar as well. Day 2, you've got, do you have an exit strategy? So for those people who are looking to get out of the real estate business, because you're a part of that part of your career when you're thinking about transitioning in the next couple of years, maybe even 5-10 years, this is a wonderful class for you to go to. Do you have an exit strategy to help you prepare to hand off your business seamlessly to someone who's still in there? Killing it in the current market, that's a great one. Rachel Adams Lee, we've had her before in classes. She's teaching a session from 1:45 to 2:30 on Thursday that's called Stop Discounting Your Commission. Now, an article just came out that one of our agents had shared about discounting your commissions and agents and the perspective around it. We're going to mastermind that at the next team meeting, but this would be a great one to go to because Rachel's amazing. Many of you guys have been to her classes before, so that as well is free. The Art of Negotiation, which is a good one. And then the last one at the end of the day, everyone does love. It's Gov Hutchinson, who's doing hot legal issues that you need to know now. Need is in all caps. So it's important that we're aware of what's happening right now legally, and I'm sure Simon could agree, in real estate. So make sure you guys join for that. Also, what's fun about it is the expo hall that's happening all 3 days. And just in case you guys didn't see on the website, they have things like giveaways every day. I know friends that have won MacBooks, iPads, AirPods, like all sorts of stuff just for attending. But they also have a headshot booth with a glam thing. They'll do your makeup and do your hair, which you can go into. They have a Reels booth where a social media expert can help you make some digital content to be able to create and share. All of those things are happening during the expo portion that you can meander and mingle. Okay, so we're putting together some fun stuff. We're also going to go and be able to have like a little camaraderie moments. So if you guys are attending this expo, if you've registered, if you're thinking of registering, go there on the bottom and scan this little QR code for me. It's a Google form that's going to help us as an office be able to know who's going and which classes you guys are excited about, so we can have everything prepared and maybe meet up with you while we're there. Okay, so scan this little QR code down at the bottom and let us know if you're going to join the fun with us and fill that out. Any comments, questions on this? Deborah's excited. Yeah.
And
Yes.
real quick,
Yeah.
so small.
Oh yeah. Sure, no problem. You're good. Scan us and scan that and let us know you're coming, which panels you're excited for, etc. And again, those are just some of the many things that are happening for a couple days. Cool.
You don't have to attend each day, right?
No, yeah, you can just attend one day, you can attend both days, you can attend all 3 days and even pay to go to some of the earlier things, but
Wednesday, Thursday is free.
it's the free day. Yep, free all day. Yes, and you can even have admins go. Someone was asking me that. It's only $60. You can get a spouse or an admin to go as well. Okay, I know some of you guys are scanning the thing, so I'm gonna wait 1 second. There we go. Okay, we'll send that out afterwards. Yeah, moving on. So your first home edition, many of you guys have been ordering this book and I think it's awesome. I just want to throw this up here one more time. I was on a call this week where they shared a discount code for bulk order pricing. Now this is only available for, I believe, the next week and a half. This discount code here in the corner, make sure you write it down, but it gives you $20 off ordering a book, a whole case of 10. So it makes a case of 10 of those books only $118, I think, for a case of 10 versus about 20 bucks a book. So it's saving you quite a bit of money. Okay, so just write that code down if you haven't ordered them, or if you have and it's worked well, order one more. Okay, great. Tech features. you guys, Command is where it's at. We're gonna talk about Command Con here and remind you about that at the end. One of the awesome features that was just updated was they do have post scheduling, so you can post on Facebook, but the new one now also integrates Instagram. So if you're using multiple platforms, this is huge. So if you're using multiple platforms, you can go in there and actually time block your social media, which is what I encourage you to do, and take 15, 20 minutes and build out your content for a whole month and have it go through Command and have it pre-scheduled. But linking to Instagram is brand new. So now you can get both Facebook and Instagram on the same platform. So if you use things like Sprout Social, if you use things like Planoly or any of those social media planners, this is going to take place for it. Remember, it's free for you, right? It costs you nothing. Yeah, Mike.
That says business accounts. Do we have to make sure the accounts on Instagram is structured as business account?
So that is a really good question, and we're going to test run that together, and we'll see. It might need to be a business account. Most agents here, if you don't already have that, should have a business account or a creator account, not just a personal account, right? Partly because they unlocks a bunch of extra features. Yeah, I love that. Good question. So we'll figure out together. Okay. Lastly, the design highlights. These are also in Command. If you guys need social media content that you can post and schedule, just like Mike and everyone else was talking about, really simple. This can make up at least 4 of your posts a month that you guys can go on there for the holidays. Don't waste your time creating new content. Great, so let's bring up our leadership team. It's time for that portion of the team meeting. Welcome. Yeah, you can go ahead and move that. Let me put that on. Okay. Okay, Deborah, why don't you start?
All right, oh, just an additional note on that wedding dress. It is now my 4-year-old granddaughter's. It was her baptism dress. So we took that dress and recreated it. So. Anyway, okay, I just want to make sure you know the calendar is out for October. There's a lot of great things on there. Please go through it. If you have questions, let me know. We added a Saturday class. So I really want to encourage you guys to get there, talk to some of the other agents. Drake is going to be doing open house October 22nd from 9 to 11 right here in the bullpen. And I'm pretty sure he's going to have a really nice door prize. So definitely come and join us. The other thing I wanted to point out on the calendar, it's not yet there. I will have it confirmed later this morning. And that is we're going to have our annual family bowling night on Friday, October 14th. So that's just about a week and a half away, and we encourage you to come and join us. We'll have pizza and sodas, and of course there are other beverages if you care to have a few. One other thing I had to share with you on the calendar just left me, so we'll come back to it. But yeah, I know. I looked at Karen and it reminded me pickleball. So everybody's been asking about pickleball. Here comes my dear friend here, Leslie, who we have now got on the court with us. But Drake and I started playing again just recently, and I know that a lot of you would like to give it a shot. So I am working on getting it. It's tough to get courts because they're just it's so popular. So I'm working on possibly getting it to the indoor courts, which is here in Seal Beach over at AIM and up in Westminster. So I'll keep you posted on that, and we'll, there could be a small fee involved because of it going to an indoor facility where the outdoors are free, but I know so many of you have been asking, so we're gonna get it.
Awesome. Thanks, Deborah.
I have one other thing. I too am a back of the room sitter, whatever, and I have encouraged people to come and sit forward. So this morning, you get a gift certificate, you get a gift card, and we're gonna.
And her phone was quiet, give her 2.
There you go. So front of the room seating, you never know, there could be a surprise for you.
I love that. Thank you, Deborah. Good note to end on. Okay, Cindy, do you have anything for us?
I do. The fourth quarter's upon us. We started the other day for October 1st. So in the next few weeks, I'll be sending out copies of what your earnings are for you to start previewing. If you have any questions or changes, please let me know. If you've moved and we don't know that you've moved, give us your current address so we get you 1099 out to the right address. And because the tax man will come upon us again. Very soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Cindy.
Tell me fast.
Yes, it's October.
Between now to the end of the year, it's like that never happened, right?
Yeah.
Those last few months. Holidays, I mean, it's exciting time of the year, right? I mean, it's almost award ceremony, January for 2022. But no, it's fine because to think about the whole process. So we have in 3 weeks from now, about that, we have I think we pushed a week, our business planning session.
October 20th.
Second,
October 20th.
27th. We pushed
20.
one
Oh, you
week. So,
Changed it?
yeah,
It's in here.
yeah.
Okay.
So, Halley, the office will do promotion. Make sure to, again, if I record properly, it's the 27th, 1 p.m. Do your best to be here. If not here on the Zoom, we're also gonna record a session, but you rather, be here because we're gonna get to know the offices combined, right? Every office is gonna feature like about 30, 40 minutes or so. It's gonna be like an amazing event because we want you guys to be plugged in even more to what's happening today in the market. And that's the only thing we can actually control. We can't control the world economy,
Yeah.
we can't control the unemployment rate, we can't control many things. What we can control is to show up next week on the Wednesday or Thursday down the street in the Long Beach event, that they have after 3 years later on, 3 years after, and we can control to be in those meetings, control to show up every day and do the activities. So we're keep inspire you and support you and give you the best resources. So that's the most important thing I have to say about that.
Awesome.
And I love the pickleball because I never played
Okay.
that. It's like tennis for beginners-ish, right? Leslie, don't even dare.
Not when you're playing with Drake.
Okay, so make sure the break is not there.
Yeah.
But count me in. Yeah, I'm in.
All right. I love that. Okay, thank you. Simon.
All right, good morning. How's everyone doing? We'll start off with, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the hot topic that's going on right now is open houses, right? We were just discussing a couple days ago regarding, the do's and don'ts and the responsibility and, liability when it comes to hosting open houses for outside our office, right? So I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then I'm going to give you the gray area. And then obviously the good thing is that I encourage all of you to go is to the Cars Expo, right? As Holly was saying, Gov Hutchinson is going to be there, who's the VP of General Counsel for the California Association of Realtors. And this is going to be a topic that I encourage all of us to be there because I'm going to be one pressing play on this and asking Gov regarding open houses, because it's been a practice that all of us have been doing is picking up the phone, calling listing agents that have multiple homes and asking if we can host an open house, right? And the importance of, the liability, the fiduciary responsibility when we don't actually have a listing agreement in place, right? So the pitfalls. So, this is where we're getting a lot of agents, frequently asking about hosting. And I know a lot of team leaders are asking the brokers, what is the do's and don'ts regarding this? Well, I'm going to give you the statute of what the DRE, the commissioner of the Department of Real Estate, is saying. I'm going to also say the risk management and legal counsel, what they're saying. And I'm also going to tell you, what CAR and what their, group of counsels are doing and saying. Now, there's nothing really is set in stone. I've done a lot of research. I've checked the DRE's website, nothing. I've checked CAR, I checked the National Association of Realtors, and I cannot find any concrete information regarding, hosting open houses for outside brokerages. What I mean by outhouse brokerages, meaning you're a KW agent and you're calling, say, the multiple listing service, right? And let's say a competitor has a listing that's vacant. We tend to pick up the phone call and say, hey, we'd love the opportunity to host an open house this weekend. I'm available Saturday, Sunday. And for the most part, usually they allow us to do an open house, right? Which is simple, right? 3 from 12 to 3, 1 to 4, we host an open house, lock it up, and then we're done, right? The whole purpose, right, is to generate the opportunities, right? It's an opportunity for both sides. The listing agent gets more exposures, especially if the listing agent has multiple listings, right? The agent cannot be in multiple areas. That's why they usually allow, agents to host the open house. But the pitfalls that we're seeing is, who is liable when it comes to an issue that comes? Remember, we don't have a listing agreement with the seller. And more so, what if there's discrimination? Someone gets hurt. There's damage to the property, right? During the host of the open house, who takes the significant risk regarding that? Well, and speaking with multiple people is, we don't have an agreement in place. We don't have an exclusive listing agreement that allows us to do open house. Now, here's the black and white, as I was trying to explain earlier. The Department of Real Estate, the commissioner says we cannot, host open house when it comes to outside of the brokerage, right? Anything within the brokerage, it's perfectly fine. We are covered under the umbrella of the insurance, our E&O insurance. Now, again, this is something that we've been practicing for many years, and I've been very loose in this topic in regards, as long as you're doing open house on a vacant property, it seems to be okay. We haven't come across, in the years that I've been a broker, any issues regarding open houses, and especially doing open houses for outside brokerages. But it only takes that one. So that's, the problematic issues that we're probably seeing or will see. And that's where we have to kind of lay the law in regards to what we can do. Now, I know that the California Association of Realtors is working heavily to try to provide us with either some type of form, right? A waiver, a act against the advice of the broker, or discouraging us from, hosting. We don't have any of those documents as of yet, and it's something I know they're working very heavily. They didn't give us an indication. And this is why I really want to speak with Gov Hutcherson, at the Car Expos to, ask these hard questions, because I know all of us are asking those questions, the do's and don'ts on it. Now, here's a typical scenario that I wanted to, basically share with you. Let's say that broker 1 holds an open house for an agent for broker 2. A neighbor visits the open house and tells the agent that there is a sex offender living next door, right? Somehow the agent is researching that is hosting the open house, right? And finds out that there was a sex offender next door, right? The agent gets distracted and forgets to tell the listing agent, hey, by the way, did you know that the neighbor is registered as a sex offender, right? What can happen here is that, that if the agent forgets to tell the listing agent and home sells and the buyer is not told about the neighbors being a sex offender, and the property closes, right? The neighbor repeats then the neighbor, introduces themselves to the new buyer and says, hey, by the way, did you know that there was a sex offender across the street or next to you, right? That can open up an opportunity for, the buyer, to ultimately go after for possibly damage. They would have probably not bought the property. Again, just one of those unique scenarios that I want you to understand our position. Now, with that being said, we're still gathering a lot of more insights in how we can protect ourselves as individual agents, as a company in general, and more so where this is going to lead, the opportunities, because it's unfortunate, but again, this is coming from the very top with the DRE, and the DRE, reflects that with the California Association of Realtors, and then it goes down to the boards, and then goes down to the brokerages as well. stay tuned. We're definitely going to be getting more information regarding open houses and hosting open houses for outside brokerages. And more so, here's how another avenue, and I know it's probably something that you don't want to hear, is having some type of co-listing aspect of it, right? Then it's perfectly fine. Two different brokerages co-list the property. Then you have the ability to do an open house. So with that, I don't want to go too deep into it. I know there's more content, but if you have any questions, by all means, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to provide you with additional information that we gather. And as we progress with this, this is definitely a topic that we're probably going to get a lot of questions on. So.
That's awesome. Thank you, Simon. Many
Yeah.
of you guys have, yeah,
One question.
Brad.
We now have a rule in our brokerage that we're not supposed to allow outside agents or open houses, or we're not doing open houses for outside agents.
I think there's no rule. I mean, the rule was around forever, but have you ever seen the board police or the CR police coming to your open house? I mean, nobody's really forcing it. And I appreciate the question, by the way. So I think the best way to approach it, right? For example, as a listing agent, right? If you have multiple properties and like you need desperately someone to hold the open house, give it to our agents. I know it's a great question. Once again, thank you for asking this. And once again, and on your end, let's say you want to hold an open house and there is none available in our brokerage, but you can pick up from a different, like what do you do? That's the gray area that someone was kind of talking about. We gonna look further into that because we don't want to say you cannot do it. We did in the past, it didn't work both ways. So it's still the kind of the gray area. What you need to understand and remember is that if something will happen and it's your fault, not your fault or whatever, and you're the listing agent, you let someone else sit in your open house, different company. By the way, also different KW, not this KW, so it's the same thing, right? Or you were hosting someone else's open house and something happened, you're not covered by our insurance. That's what you have to remember. Okay, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go around and around just to. Richard.
Well, I actually looked for the rule and couldn't find it. Does anybody know where that rule is? I heard a lot of people say rule. I went to car, I couldn't find it anywhere. Anybody
Did you check with the local?
Simon.
Yeah, but one thing, did you check with the local board?
At the PWR?
Yes.
No, they referred me to car.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Simon.
Yeah, Manny. Again, I checked with Carr, and the attorney that I spoke with couldn't reference, because I dig deep into this conversation, is tell me where the DRE emphasizes that we cannot host open houses outside. Well, then it was a gray area, meaning that it wasn't set in stone, but the big picture is, the liability. Who is liable if something happens, right? There's nothing. We checked with Carr. She did some research. I also checked with the Department of Real Estate, and even DRE, the one that created all of the real estate law, cannot pinpoint where exactly this is stated where we cannot host open houses outside. Now, remember, I'm not here to tell you the do's and don'ts, because again, it's something that we've been practicing for years, and I still encourage agents to go out there and look for opportunities. But what I do tell agents is, look, do open houses that are vacant, okay? Nothing that is occupied, tenant occupied, because then that causes an additional concern, right? If something is missing, something is damaged. But do open houses that are, vacant, because it's simple. It's you're in, you're out, close everything, right? Now, to answer your question, that was something that for the last several weeks, I've been trying to get as much information to find out where is this stated. Now, I also reached out to our risk management, and even speaking with our risk management team, she indicated, well, it came up with the commissioner talking about it, okay, not necessarily put in written agreements, right? So that's why it's still up in the air. That's why I encourage all of us to go to CAR Expo and speak with the general counsel, Gov Hutcherson, to ask that question and see where we can get. I know that's going to be a topic that I'm going to press upon.
That's awesome. Thanks, Simon. But, hopefully that answers your question, Richard, but that's the way all real estate is it's a system of checks and balances. And sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's not. And sometimes it's made clear because somebody gets sued for it, right? So it's not necessarily a rule. So anyways, thank you, Simon. Any more comments, questions about this before I?
Quick question.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a tremendous amount of what ifs that we can, scenarios that we can go through, but how about reaching out to the insurance company? You had mentioned something about the insurance company, when they have in their policy, like what is covered, what isn't covered, where we're covered, where we're not covered, and can't we just kind of pick a direction to go based on what's in that policy?
Yes. And that's where Simon was saying in our policy, it's not covered, right? It is not covered. Liability, slip and fall. Another common one is theft or breaking of materials. That's why Simon suggested, looking for properties that are vacant. There's less risk to that because there's less personal property. But yeah, thank you.
That's what it's called, risk management.
Yeah.
Right? Just be aware.
Good question, though.
That's it. We teach you and tell you, let's say the contract portion of it, right? The actual contracts, what to do, what not to do. That's pretty much clear. Like, we just do that. But still, agents make mistakes, right? Not intentionally. So you can still make mistakes, but as long as you're aware, then to use better judgment, what you can and cannot, right? Richard, you can do an open house tomorrow, and again, the PWR police and the coastal police won't go after you, right? But at the same time, you can say, okay, I understand the risks. What do I want to do, right? Or maybe this listing agent, different company, like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this individual. Maybe I shouldn't pick up that open house. But that open house, that agent, thumbs up, or vice versa, right? Like who you hire to sit your open house. It's your reputation and your risk as well. So I think we spoke enough about that.
That was good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Simon.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on, family reunion. Join this wonderful crew of happy, smiley people at family reunion this next year. We're excited to have a big group going with us already. So if you haven't already bought your tickets, still need to talk to Cindy. She can help facilitate some of that stuff, and then send you the link. You guys can just scan there. Next, why don't we bring up Francine and our sponsor today, Francine. Welcome. Come on up here.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm Francine with Petco Closing Gifts. Some of you guys recognize me, some of you guys recognize my husband. We still work together, in case you're wondering, everyone always asks. But I'm a strategic gifting consultant with Petco Closing Gifts. Who here has heard of Petco or Petco Closing Gifts? Okay, so we have some familiarity. So the reason I'm here, part of it, according to NAR, they say that 80% of people say that they would use their agent again if only they could remember them. But when it actually came down to it, only 13% of people can actually name their agent after only 2 years, just 13%. So if you don't have a system in place that's helping your clients remember who you are long after the close, you should definitely check us out. And we do have some samples up there, and I'll tell you a little bit about us more today as well. So can you guys tell me, like, what are some popular gifts that you've seen given at the closing table, even for like anniversary gifts, referral gifts, and that sort of thing?
Gift cards.
Gift cards, one. Any other baskets? Baskets. Why?
Those are very popular gifts. We all enjoy them, right? But can you tell me what happens to those gifts? Let's say like 24 to 48 months down the road. They're consumed. They're gone forever, right? So really leaving no long-term value for that relationship. What we do with the Cutco product, go ahead and raise your hands again for me if you've heard of Cutco and Cutco clothing gifts. Keep your hands up if you have Cutco in your home. Keep them up if you've had them for 5 years or longer. About 10 years? 15? Oh, this is a great group. How long have you had, how long have you had your Cutco?
We bought them back in the early 2000s.
2000. Wow. What about you?
It's been what? 10
About
years.
10 years? That's great. I mean,
Sharpest lender in town. is
Yeah.
what it is. Cute.
Yeah. Let's conceptualize that for just a moment. Like, what is something that you can have for 10 years or even longer that you still use and still has like value and quality, right? So for those of you who aren't familiar, I'll pass this around in just a moment. But what we do is we take the Cutco product, which is American made, been around for over 70 years, covered by a forever guarantee, which includes free sharpening. We take that product, we engrave your name, your logo on there. We put a tagline like sharpest lender in town, right? Your cutting edge realtor, or quit cutting my commissions, whatever we're
I like that one.
right? And what's cool is that since we engrave your info on there, now they're legally 100% tax deductible because it falls under marketing and advertising. Who can tell me what the IRS typically allows you to write out for closing gifts?
No.
$25 per client. So now most people are spending more than $25 on their gifts. So we're essentially helping you divert your funds to more strategic branding for your business. And not only do they make great closing gifts, they're also great for referral gifts. You can put a tagline on there like thanks for spreading the word. Anyone in this room enjoy getting referrals?
I enjoy the sandwich spreader.
Yeah.
That's the one we put. Thanks for spreading the word right down there. So great referral gifts, great anniversary gifts, perfect time to follow up with your clients 2 years down the road. Hey, I just wanted to congratulate you again on being in your home for 2 years. When you show up with an unexpected gift, people are happy, right? They're receptive, and guess what? They've spoken about buying or selling again. They've run into family and friends at that point, and it's a topic of conversation. So also, another great time to get in touch with your clients. But I know you're thinking, will my clients like this gift? Will they use it? And we did do some extensive research to make sure that they would. And we found two things to be true. One is that all of your clients, they have to eat food and they have to cut their food into smaller pieces. So they're gonna use it. We understand that a lot of people like to customize their gifts to their clients, to their needs, their likes and such. So what a lot of our top agents will do is they'll include 1 to 2 pieces of the Cutco product with their customized gift. That way, when those gifts are finished being enjoyed, they still have something with them long-term to remind them of your services. Our most popular gifts, they do range from about $100 to $300. And we find that's what most people are already spending. So our goal is just to help you divert your funds to more strategic branding. And to get the best out of the program, most of our agents still do a 6 or 12-month supply. That way your gifts are ready on hand. And then we just split your total for you. So let's say, for example, you need 12 gifts for the next 6 months. What we'll do is we'll send you all 12 ready to go, engraved and everything with your little bow on top. And we'll send you all 12, and then we can split your total over a 6-month period. That way it's easier to fit into the budget. And again, putting the super easy system in place. That's our motto. So at the end of the day, when you think about it, what is a gift that you can give to your clients that they're going to use on a regular basis? It's American made, covered by a forever guarantee, associates you with quality. I know one, it's Cutco. And I mean, the difference is you guys, right? Is that client going to be a $10,000 commission client, a $20,000 commission client or more. How are we helping you guys stay top of mind with your clients years down the road? So what I'm gonna do is I'll pass this around, like I said. If you would like more information on our closing gift program, you can leave your card in the box. If you forgot your card, I do have a sheet here where you can put your basic info, so I can follow up with you. And I'll leave you my card in case anyone online wants to send me a text for info. But I do like to reward people for taking action. So what I'm gonna do today, for the first 5 people who would like to order to re-up on their gifts or get started on their holiday gifts, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy you $100 worth of Cutco to add to your own home collection. That way you get to experience how awesome Cutco is as your clients experience it. So I'll buy you $100 worth of Cutco for yourself. And I'm gonna lock you in for our half price engraving. And that's good for your order today, along with all your future orders with me or my husband. It's a half price engraving for life, $100 worth of Cutco for yourself, and our quantity discounts as well. If you want to be one of those 5, what you want to do is put a star on your card as the gift comes around, or a star on next to your name. That way you know to save you a spot. But let's make it a sharp rest of your day. Thank you for having me today.
Awesome, thank you. Francine. Before we get started, I just wanted to do a little personal shout out. I've ordered through Francine and her husband now for a couple of years, and they have treated me and our clients so well. So they're very fast, very good at responding, and very professional. So I just want to give you personally a shout out for that. Thank you. Okay, so moving on, listing pitches and buyer needs. Just want to do a shout out to all of our new listings. Brandy, do you want to pitch your listing? Shoot, I saw her flying around here. Oh, there you are. Brandy, you want to pitch your listing quick?
Yep, I have a land listing in Carlsbad. And right now I'm still doing the research, but it is zoned R1 15,000, so you can build 1 house and 1 meeting. There are some slope issues that you see. So if you have any developer friends or grading contractors that you want to send my way, I'm going to start getting some estimates.
Awesome. Congrats, Brandy, on your listing. Ray's not here. Deborah, do you want to read that off for me?
I think it's 850,000 and
Yes.
it's in Buena Park, 3-bedroom, 3 baths, 1286 square feet.
Yes, awesome. Ray, it's gorgeous. The pictures are real nice. Bronson. Okay, Austin's gonna pitch it for him. Austin, what is this?
Bronson has a land listing out in Elon. I don't even know.
Phelan?
275. Give him a call. Ask him about it.
Awesome. Good pitch, Austin. Good pitch. Yay. Good job, Austin. I love that. Robert Reynolds, how you do it?
He has 725 for what is it, South Pasadena? Is that vacant land?
Yeah, it's vacant land. I think it's mixed use. If you guys look it up, I think it's mixed use, but it's underdeveloped, so.
Jen and Grace, anybody here?
Robin here? No? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, 725 for 6 bedrooms and 3 baths in Long Beach, 1447 square feet.
I think it's already rented out too. I think
This is
yeah.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah,
Oh,
it's a good
it's
investment
correct.
opportunity.
That's probably not the right square footage though, right? Maybe just the one at the assessor's office. It probably has some non-permitted addition.
Yes.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
I'm
Look
not
it up.
sure.
Okay, Kendra?
Kendra has one in Cerritos, 899 for 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, just under 2,000 square feet. And then Danny has a listing in Seal Beach. 440 is the asking. It's a 1-bedroom, 1 bath.
That's a really popular condo building. If you guys are having people that are trading in the Seal Beach area neighborhood, it's a great little starter area on Montecito Road. I know it's kind of busy, but it's a good one to start out with a good price point. Yeah.
Just to point out, not to put a dampener on things, but in Rossmore Park, you cannot put laundry in the unit. It is, every block has laundry. If you put laundry in, the HOA will make you take it out.
Thank you.
Goodness.
Our resident Rossmore expert. Thanks, Penny.
You're welcome.
Great.
Okay, Hala has this listing up in Sacramento. And we were in escrow right away, and that did not move forward. So $499 is the asking. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. I'm sorry.
Awesome. Any other listing pitches by or needs Miss Kelly?
Listing pitch, I have a house listing in North Long Beach. It's in the triangle area of North Long Beach, which is west of the 710, just south of the 91. It was originally tenant occupied, so we tried to sell it in place, and then they decided to vacate peacefully and amicably, which makes us all happy. So we took it off the market. After they vacated, we painted it and staged it. It's ready to go. It's a remodeled 2-bedroom, 1-bath front house. Open concept, beautiful kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, vinyl flooring. And then there's a unit in the back that is permitted. It's a studio with a half bath and full laundry. And then you still have a 1-car garage, parking for another 2 to 3 cars on the street. And we just did a price reduction. It's at $675 now, and my seller is motivated and is willing to consider buyer credits to help your clients pay down their.
That's awesome, Kelly. Yeah, let's get that sold. Awesome.
236 Nice. NECE.
Awesome.
What's the lot size?
Huh?
What's the lot size? Lot.
Lot size.
45,600.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you,
If have
Kelly.
more questions of Kelly, let me know.
Awesome. That's great. Okay, affiliates. Let's bring up our affiliate partners. Welcome up here. Welcome, you guys.
Sorry.
Wow, we've got a whole crew today.
We'll be here till 5.
Okay, why don't you guys go first? You're here.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Michelle Klein and Tilly Vecchio with the Stearns & Klein Title Group at First American. Oh my gosh.
Fidelity crisis.
Fidelity National Title. Let me say it again, Fidelity National Title. Anyways, couple things. I've just handed out some information on the transfer of the decedent's real property. This is basically when an owner has passed away. So we're seeing a lot of situations come up where the affidavit of death, you have to record that. So I just want to bring to everyone's attention, the county actually requires that the affidavit death of joint tenant or death of trustee be recorded within 150 days, okay? So this is just a great talking point I wanted to bring to your attention to let any of your clients know, or if someone in your farm you know has passed away. They could assess the penalties and fines. So maybe like $100, or they would take 10% of what the new tax basis is, whichever's greater, but it won't exceed $5,000. The reason I bring this up, so it could also, there could be a reassessment when the children take that property and now feed it to themselves or do things like that. So there's some situations with the parent's child, grandparent to grandchild. They need to file their homeowner exemption. That's for the owner occupied residents need to file that homeowner exemption form in order to take advantage of that and for reassessment. So we have some really good, you guys, if you come into anything, I have a full packet of information. I didn't want to hand it all out, but the packet really kind of breaks down how the reassessment happens, what, particulars to be aware of on the forms. And it's just great things to have these forms on hand so that you're bringing value and information to your clients. So it's a really good packet if you want to look good through it. It's on the county website, but we put it all together for you. So again, give me a call if you have any questions. I know TV wanted to share some things too.
So we did a Fidelity Agent 1 class here the other day. I just wanted to touch base with you all. If you don't have the app, please reach out and let us know. There's some really great marketing pieces on here for you to post to social media or even to door knock with or email out if you do like an email blast. And they're constantly updating it with new market information. So there's a new one that they have. It's called Then versus Now. So it's a comparing on 10-year costs of buying this year's market with a higher rate over last year's market with a lower rate, but overpaying for the property. So it breaks it down. You can actually input a specific property price. They also have like the future of home prices. So what experts are saying, and it's actually a really nice
flyer for you to use on social. You can also, if you are doing a lot of videos, you can actually take this information, read it, understand it, and then create a video with it. So it makes it really easy for you. And then they also have like what you can afford. So it's like what the buyer would be able to afford with that monthly payment, and then what that would look like over a home price for different interest rates as well. So those are a few new ones that they have for October.
Yeah, you guys, if you're not on Fidelity Agent One, let us know. There's some great marketing content in there, and for the social media, it already does the hashtags and everything for you. So it's just fantastic, and it's really good information. It stays current every month of bringing in new marketing pieces and content for you to share with people out there on social. So let us know if we can sign up on that app as well. Okay, thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a great afternoon.
Hi, everyone. Sarah, Pacific Coastline Escrow, just down the way. Just to kind of piggyback off what Michelle just passed out, it's so important. You have no idea how many people call me when they get that tax bill that somebody passed away, they recorded that document, and have no idea that it was coming. And it is required to be filed within 150 days of death. So it's something to bring up when you have clients that are successors or trustees or people are passing away. It is something we do in escrow. So important to give them the information so they know to expect that tax bill and how much it's going to be. But anyway, thank you for everyone who came to my class. It is recorded on YouTube.
It's on
our YouTube site. If you guys want to watch it, just again, things that agents tend to miss that I'm seeing in escrow. Just little things I wanted to bring up to make sure I brought it to everyone's attention. Again, what Manny mentioned earlier, like, you may not notice that you missed something. It's good to bring it to your attention. So next time moving forward, you know to catch it next time. Couple things I just want to bring up again that I'm seeing in escrow, HOAs. Every time we open escrow, I always make sure to give the lender the HOA's contact information right away because I know they're probably going to need a cert. I've seen on my last couple escrows, these lenders are ordering HOA certs like weeks into escrow instead. Like right now I have one waiting, and everyone's upset because we should have got docs. And it's, a hole in the wall management company. There's only one person you can talk to, and we're just all at a standstill. So if you have HOAs, the buyer's going to get a loan, make sure you talk to the other agents to make sure they get the HOA info so they can order their certs or whatever documents they need. If you have the seller, I can help you get HOA docs ordered early. We can find out the cost, the turnaround time. So then when you're negotiating your offers, like, oh, my seller has so many days to get docs to the buyer. Do we have to order a rush? Do I have to order them now? Things that we can go over, like just to prep you so we're ready for a quick, smooth escrow. Another thing to keep in mind, I have one seller right now taking a buyer to small claims court. Rents. When sellers are renting back, make sure that you read all the terms of the lease agreement. Leslie, not your client, not you. I have another seller actually that's taking a buyer to small claims court over the buyer doing all these like invoices for cleaning and like all these things that they deducted out of the seller's deposit and didn't discuss before doing it. So make sure you read what can be deducted, what can't be deducted. Make sure you read boxes that you might want to mark when it turns out you want the funds held in escrow. That you have to actually mark the box that says you want the rent held, or you want the delivery possession held, or the security deposit held. Otherwise, I have to disperse it to the buyer, and then it's between them. I'm out of the picture, and I can't hold on to any funds without a mutual agreement anymore, because it says to release at closing. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you read those agreements so you know what the terms are. So when the buyer finally, or the seller finally hands possession to the buyer, you know what amount they're going to get back, or the proration amount, that needs to be refunded or agreed upon. As the terms are in there, basically in favor of the buyer for the most part.
What are the names of the documents? Seller in possession?
Seller in possession addendum and the residential lease after sale. Yeah, the lease after sale has a bunch of things they can deduct out of the deposit that this seller wasn't aware, and the buyer just went ahead and did it, and now they're in small claims. I have another one where everyone wanted the money held in escrow, but they didn't mark the box. And on a residential, or is it seller in possession? I'm sorry, I can't remember which one it is, but one of them states that no matter when the seller delivers the property back, the buyer gets to keep all the money. There's no prorating rent unless otherwise agreed in writing. So buyer gets all the rent even if they give the property back sooner, unless they can come to terms. So keep that in mind too, when your seller's getting ready to hand over possession, if they know they're gonna get a refund or not get a refund. That might be something they want to do before they get keys. But if you have any escrow questions or anything that comes up, please feel free to come use me as a resource. Seller estimated net sheet, you know, it's a great tool for listing appointments, right, Richard? How many listings have you gotten with those?
Every time I get a net sheet from you, I get a list.
Yay! Bravo. Way to go. So it's a great tool. I'm happy to go over fees, costs. Tax bills are out too, by the way. Another good touch, sorry. That you can remind clients the taxes are due. They're due November 1st, going to December 10th. Okay,
Thank you, Sarah.
Good morning, everyone. Brandon Zamora, Fidelity National Home Warranty. I'm just getting over a cold. I got the green light from the doctor to come back to work today, but I have been on cold medicine for 4 days, so I don't want to talk too long and make promises or say I work for First American or something. So I work for Fidelity National Home Warranty. This is my beautiful niece and goddaughter. She's becoming a realtor, so she's here today interviewing one of 2 schools to get her license at. So her first class will be how to be nice to affiliates, taught by me. But I just brought her up here to make her feel a little nervous and get used to being in front of people. Okay. All I want to talk about in regards to home warranty is this HVAC tune-up season. We are in the HVAC tune-up season. So if you guys don't know what HVAC tune-up is, it's a feature we started adding a few years ago to home warranty. So home warranty covers systems and appliances that break down due to normal wear and tear. So what that means is you have to maintain those systems and appliances. So for instance, if you live at the beach and you don't really need to use your AC system, but one day there's a heat wave and you turn on the AC system, but you haven't used it in 2 years and it breaks down, that would not be breaking down due to normal wear and tear. You have to run these systems. You have to check these systems. You have to change the filters and things like that. So what we've done is kind of made getting denied for that easier by adding the preseason HVAC tune-up. It's twice a year in spring and in fall, and that's where we come out, we check the systems, add refrigerant, change the coils, things like that. So right now we're in the middle of fall HVAC preseason tune-up, which starts September 1st and ends November 30th. Some of our plans already include this, but it's only an additional $25 to add. If you get like our comprehensive plan, it's a great little closing gift you can give as well. So just make sure you're adding that. Make sure to let the homeowner know if you're closing anything right now, they have that feature that they can use. And any of you on your personal houses, it's just a friendly reminder that it is HVAC season tune-up time. All right, make it a great day. Thank you.
Last but not least, Alex here, NAL Financial in-house vendor, one of the 2 here in the office. Thank you to everyone who came to the beach. Last time I came up here, I spoke and we had an event at the beach that was really great. I know that you guys saw some pictures of one of the last couple of meetings, but that meant a lot to me, to those of you guys that came. We had a really good time. Rates for the last month and a half, you've heard Mike and I just really be pretty dismal about interest rates, and we've seen a reversal. We've seen a trend reversal this week. So I know he was speaking in the high 6s last week. We're seeing stuff more down in the low 6s now. Conventional loans 6.25, FHA stuff even under 6. So we've again seen a little bit of a trend reversal in rates, which is something to talk about to your clients, definitely to your buyers, which is great news for us as well. We've been beat up over the last month or so. So that's why the smiles haven't been as prevalent from lenders. The jobs report is on Friday. That's a very big, important report for mortgage rates, for the economy. Keep a look on that. If you see it negative, mortgage rates will get better. Okay. Mortgage rates like bad news. Okay. So that's what, always hope for bad news, but kind of do here at this point and give us a little bit of a break. Lastly, something that I talked to Kelly about, something that always comes up, and it's coming up a lot more right now, is seller credits. Sellers helping clients buy down the interest rate. Sellers, giving credits for repairs. You cannot credit more than the costs of a transaction. Okay, so you need to be really aware of what your costs are. We add costs to transactions through purchasing down interest rates. So that's one way that we as lenders can increase the costs of a transaction to maybe grab more of the seller credit that you guys want to offer from the listing side. But just keep that in mind. If there's any questions on seller credits, any questions on numbers related to sellers credits, The expense of a loan is based on the loan size. So each loan that comes in on these offers is going to be different. So you need to, have like a little blanket idea, maybe up to $10,000 or up to $5,000 or up to $7,500. Don't just say buyers willing to pay down or sellers willing to pay down 2 points. Put a cap on that because the loan amount can be different. You could have a client putting down 5%, 3%, and those points are going to be much more than someone putting down 20. Okay, if you have questions on those types of things before you start negotiating, even if we're not doing the loan, we're here to help you. Okay, please keep that in mind. Our phones, our emails, our texts are always up and on. Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you, Alex, and all of that. We appreciate that. Allie had to run to a training, so let's see if I can get this moving. She's not letting me. Why is that not happening? We may get to see the classes, we may not. There we go. Okay, what's on the calendar? So Simon has 2 classes a week that he does. Make certain to tune into those. There's always a lot of great information. He has one this Tuesday, today, 2 o'clock, and then on Fridays, typically at 2 as well. Next week, absentee farming is coming with the Kevin Kelly team, Orange Coast Title. It's going to be on Monday, the 10th at 10 o'clock here in the office. The monthly mentee meeting, please encourage mentors, please encourage your mentees to attend. Tuesday, October 11th from 1 to 2. The real estate horror story. So Laura Peterson is coming down from risk management, RERM. She's going to be here in the office, and she's going to be talking to you about actual life stories that have occurred to really open your eyes up and be cautious. Commercial headquarters, if you're doing any of the commercial, they're going to have, I think it is a social, commercial social coming up here in Southern California, Tuesday, October 11th from 1 to 2. Many would have more info on that. I don't have anything. And once a month, Jason joins us for What's All the Hype. This month it's October 17th at 1 o'clock. And he's going to be talking about 2023 business plan destination. Day in the life. Oh, okay. We have a panel that's going to be talking about a day in the life of a team. So Brad and Shannon from the Shannon Jones team and Lindsay Ice-Scarecut from the David Green team are going to be here in the office. She doesn't have the date on that, but I believe it's the 17th. So check our calendar. It is on the calendar. And 17th and maybe the 24th.
18th. It says the 18th.
Thanks, Kim. Thank you. At what time? 1 o'clock?
1 to 2.
1 to 2 on the 18th. All right. And then scripts and role play every Wednesday. Either Mike or Alex has been leading a scripts and role play class. It starts, let's see, 11. I think it's from 11 to 12. And she looks like she put a little clip here. Just a quick, you pair up with someone and you actually do the scripts and role play, which is great for all levels of production. It's exciting to see them in here and engaging with one another to learn and to grow. So make certain that you join us for that. Okay, let's get back on this one then. Too quick here. Oh, mastering the RPA. We've had such success with this. It's so exciting. When the agents come in here and they sit down, they get 15 minutes to write this contract, and then you switch and you correct them with someone else. And I was just sharing with Dino this morning that we had an agent, she was missing like 30 some on her contract. And then she came back and she missed a few less, and then a few, and now she's down to the low 20s. And she's just like thrilled to death to be, improving each time. So check us out this Wednesday, 12 to 1. Fritz's class is at 3 o'clock every Thursday. However, tomorrow this week he is not here. So make certain that you take a look at the calendar on that. Producers Club this Friday is going to be led by Simon. Sue Murphy from the Hoffman Murphy team. The South Bay office will be speaking. So join us for that at 8 a.m. Team meeting schedule. Make sure you remember every Tuesday, 10 o'clock, we are here live. And I think that is it. Oh, business planning. Hey, Kim.
Yep.
Okay, so business planning on the calendar was showing the 20th, but many mentioned it's been moved to the 27th.
Yes, we just changed it yesterday. So it will still be from 1 to 3. And it will be a hybrid. We encourage everyone to come into the office. I think many mentioned this earlier, because each team leader will have a session. So come into the office. I believe we're serving lunch too, but it will be hybrid. So if you have to join on Zoom, that works too.
Right, and we have the business planning sessions listed here as to who's doing what, so definitely put that on your calendar for the 27th, 1 o'clock. Thursday, School is Cool, hosted by Jason Abrams. He's always a pleasure to listen to. And, oh, Command Con's coming, it is in November, so mark your calendar, November 9th at 8 a.m. To join Jason and Nick Baldwin, our Regional Tech Director. And that's it. Thank you. I know we ran over quite a bit, so thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Had some donuts and bagels and definitely connect with Francine back there and Oliver Cutco. Thank you.